All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning, everyone, and thank you all for joining us this morning to our virtual kindergarten registration event. I am Veranda Matthews, and I am the very, very proud principal here at Norge Elementary School. Obviously, in previous years, we would have done this as an in-person event, and the students would have been able to come to the school, see us, see the classrooms, do a little activity, have a snack while the parents filled out the necessary paperwork. But for obvious reasons and the things that have been restricting us for well over a year now, we have to do this in this format. But we are hopeful to have a welcome event very soon prior to the start of school. So let's get started with today's information. Again, we are the home of the Roadrunners, and I'm super proud to introduce Racer, the Roadrunner. This is now our new official Norge mascot, and we're super excited. We just got him from our communications department. We've been using a couple of different Roadrunners because a Roadrunner is kind of hard to find, but now we have a Norge-specific official Norge Roadrunner. So that's Racer. So for the students that are here, you'll see Racer around our school quite a bit. So before we really get into it, I do want to point out just a few logistical items for you all. There is a chat feature that we'll be using for questions and answers, and we'll put some information in there for you as well. So as you have questions, please put them into that chat feature, and at the close of today's event, then I will have an opportunity to go through that chat and answer any questions that you may have. Also, throughout the PowerPoint, you'll see that there are going to be some hyperlinks as well as some QR codes. Don't worry about trying to scan those things like right now, because what's going to happen is this is going to be posted and you'll be able to go back through in your own time and click on all of those things. So moving forward, I'd like to talk about our amazing kindergarten teachers. You all are super lucky because we do have the best teachers there are in Williamsburg, James City County Public Schools. And our teachers here work really, really hard to make sure that students' entry to school is positive, fun, friendly, and that kids make a lot of friends and do a lot of great things. So typically our kindergarten consists of 5 teachers, as well as shared assistants throughout the class. There is not an assistant for each class, but there are shared assistants throughout the classes. And our class sizes are around 20, sometimes less. But again, we have a kindergarten wing, so all of our kindergartners are housed in the same hallway, and they all of the teachers collaborate well, work well together, and the students really do have an excellent time in kindergarten. And so we try to make sure that their first experience to school is their most memorable. So the major part of today's event is getting ready for kindergarten and getting your student pre-registered for kindergarten. And we call it pre-registration because there is a second piece to it. So in order to pre-register your child for kindergarten, the first thing to be sure of is that they will be 5 either on September 30th this year or before. If they're and there are no exceptions for, oh, you know, it's October 1st or October 2nd, no exceptions, September 30th or before. And what we're looking for is when you come in to do your, well, actually, when you get online to do your pre-registration, some things you'll be asked for is obviously specific demographic information about your student. And then you'll need 2 proofs of residence. Those are items that show that you do live where you say you live. So that includes like your purchase order for your home or your a copy of your lease. You can use a utility bill like your gas, your power, your water bill, personal property tax assessments, or transitional housing verification. We do need a certified copy of the birth certificate. We cannot accept a copy And we also need evidence of immunization and the Virginia physical exam form. And I'll talk a little bit more about those. We are required to see and verify all of those documents that are listed here on the screen in order to move forward with kindergarten registration. So make sure that you do, when you set up an appointment to come to the school, that you do have all of those things with you. So before school begins, and school starts this year on August 30th, this is the first time in several years that we'll be starting prior to Labor Day. So on August 30th, prepare emergency contact information and update it as necessary throughout the school year. And what we're looking for is we do have a lot of transitional families or families that move here and maybe military, or they don't know a lot of people, but we do ask that you have at least one emergency contact that we can contact if we're not able to get you on the phone. If your child is sick or needs to be picked up for any reason, we want to have obviously the parents and then an additional contact. It could be a neighbor, a friend, but someone who lives in the area that can be available in your absence. Also, notify us about any before and after school childcare. We do have the Williamsburg Rec Center has the Rec Connect before and after school program here at school. That is a separate program from WJCC. It is a paid program. You do have to apply for that, but we do have that here at Norge. But also if your child gets on the bus in the morning at home, but gets off at a babysitter's house in the afternoon that's in the zone, please let us know about that. Notify the school of any of your child's special needs, and that's anything that has to do with the nurse, feeding, or anything that makes your child unique that we would need to know to be able to best service him or her. Please notify us. And I briefly mentioned earlier, do bring your child to the summer meet and greet event. More information on that is to come, but in order to begin to acclimate them to school, please bring them to be able to meet their teacher and some prospective friends. And also please talk positively about school. Just really get them excited about all of the things. Talk about the technology that we have and their access to our playground, their access to learning and books, so many books, so much to learn. Opportunities for building, making, connecting, collaborating. So just make sure that we talk up school to the best of our ability. The next one is very important. Prior to your child attending school on the first day, please teach them their first and last name as well as their address. So when they come in, we really want them to know that information. As we get closer to the year, practice walking to their bus stop just to get that routine in practice of practicing how we get from home to the bus stop. Where will the bus stop? How many other kids will there be? Where should I stand to be safe? Also, write your child's name inside any coats, jackets. I'm going to add to that lunch boxes, anything that they bring that will be specifically theirs. Please write their name in it. If not a full name, initials. We end up at the end of the year having a pretty hefty lost and found because items don't have a name. I could open a department store at the close of every school year. We end up donating. We try to get as many things back to families as possible. So please, just a simple name inside of their personal belongings makes it so much easier. Also, purchase those solid-toed shoes. We do ask that students wear a closed toe shoe for playing, for recess, for PE, but it's just a little bit safer for kids to have sneakers or shoes that are closed for daily wear. And then, of course, we are teaching the importance of hand washing, and we do have multiple opportunities throughout the day to wash and sanitize. So when we're looking at your school entrance requirements, those things that are necessary for your child to have in order to begin school, there is a form that has student health information, immunization record, and physical full exam. And when this goes live, this URL will take you directly to that specific form. There are 3 parts to the form. Those parts mentioned. The parent only provides the first part, and then the healthcare professional will complete parts 2 and 3. The first part, again, is that demographic information, like contact information, any known health conditions, regular medications taken by your child. And then the second part will be where the doctor fills out your immunizations, and then the physical. It looks like this. So the first part, all parent filled information, known allergies, any bowel problems, it says here, hearing problems, head injuries, diabetes, any of those things will be filled out by the parent. And you'll give your doctor this part, and it has all of the required immunizations. And so when you come in for your registration appointment, the nurse will also be available, and you'll provide this information to the nurse, and she will let you know if there's anything that was missed or anything additional that will need to happen. And the same is true with the physical. The doctor does complete the physical examination portion of the document. The physical, we do ask that it is completed prior to the first day of school. So it has to be done within 1 year of the first day of school. So anytime after August 30th, 2020 through August 30th, 2021. You cannot begin school without an up-to-date physical exam. Moving forward to transportation, bus transportation is available for all kindergarten children living within their zone school of attendance. You can identify your child's bus stop location and pickup time by visiting wjccschools.org. That bus information is typically available by late August. Should be a little bit earlier in August this year with this early start. You can download our free app, Here Comes the Bus, which uses GPS data and a customizable map to show parents and guardians where the bus is and how close it is to your child's bus stop before and after school. Additionally, parents and guardians can receive push notifications or email messages when the bus has arrived at school, is near your child's stop, has been substituted, or when WJCC Schools has other important bus announcements. If you have difficulty accessing this information there, feel free to contact the transportation office, and their number is there, 757-565-0808, utilizing option number 1. We really encourage our families to allow their child to ride the bus to and from school, beginning on the first day of school, to really get into that practice. We know that students thrive on consistency and knowing those routines and expectations. So we do ask that we begin bus riding on day 1. However, we do have a car line. We do not allow families to walk their students into the school building for obvious reasons, but we do ask that we utilize the bus system as much as you can and as much as your schedule allows. Also, very important to note, the bus driver will not release a kindergarten student off the bus in the afternoon, unless a parent or an assigned adult is present to receive the child from the bus. So if the parent is not there, the student gets returned here to school, and then we call a family member and keep them here. And that's really a safety precaution that we take in order to keep our students safe. There's a form that you'll get at the start of the school year that will say who is authorized to pick your child up from the bus, and make sure that you fill that out with your driver. Moving on to what's for lunch. We do post our monthly lunch menus online. If your child does have an allergy of any sort, please notify the nurse, and then we work with the cafeteria manager to work through that as well. Lunch and breakfast menus are posted on the school division's website as well as each school website, and also using this QR code that's here, you'll be able to find them as well. If your child has particular food interest or limited favorites, we suggest reviewing the menu with your child and making them part of the decision making to select certain days that they may want to eat lunch at school. And if they have any documented food allergies, again, please notify the nurse so that we can have it on file and so that the classroom teacher can be notified. And as a special note, breakfast is served daily and lunch is served daily. Breakfast is $1.40 a day and lunch is $2.75 a day. And there is an opportunity for you to fill out the necessary documents to be approved for free or reduced lunch, depending on your circumstances. Sign up for our text alerts. If you text the word yes to 67587, you will be able to receive updates from the school division on your cell phone. Often they're sent in email or you'll get a phone call, but also if you sign up for these text alerts, it's one of the fastest ways that the school division can get information to you. So Parent View, if you already have a student here in WJCC, you may know about Parent View. Once your child is officially enrolled, then you are encouraged to register for Parent View, where you can log in anytime and anywhere with an internet connection 24/7 to see information on grades, attendance, assignments, and any announcements that we have utilizing the teacher's classroom website page. There you'll be able to find information about what's going on in the class, any assignments, but also you can, again, look at students' grades in real time to see, what assignments are missing, what assignments are completed, and what things students are working on within the class. So your next steps are to visit the Norge School website. If you have not already begun the pre-registration process online, please do so and then schedule an appointment to complete the registration process. What has typically happened in the past is that you do the pre-registration process. Our registrar, her name is Tammy Winters. Tammy will then give you a phone call and set up an appointment for you. She'll let you know what days are available for an appointment, and then you come in and bring those documents that I talked about earlier in the slideshow. And then also please follow us on social media at WJCC Schools for announcements. If you're looking for the Norge telephone number, it is that 757-564-3372, and we're located at 7311 Richmond Road. For the first day of school, which is again August 30th. Be sure that your child is wearing a name tag either on their shirt or something that has their information attached to it on their backpack securely. Sometimes kids that get a little bit overwhelmed when they come to school and we ask them their name and they just kind of stare like, because coming to school on the first day is extremely overwhelming. So we can help them by providing a name tag for them. Typically when they come to either open house or the kindergarten event, we provide those name tags for you. Handle lunch and snacks in accordance with our school guidelines. Teachers will talk to you about snack times and lunch times as the schedule is posted. Also remind your child about bus stop safety, how to stand and wait quietly and away from the street and in an area that is safe. Again, helping your child look forward to their first day of school, riding that bus to build those routines. And we do ask that you send, for kindergartners specifically, please send a change of clothing for them on when they come for spills or accidents that they may have. They just feel more comfortable to be in their own clothes should there be an incident of any sort. But we just keep them in their personal cubby and they can provide their own clothes, and then we just change them out as the seasons change. Again, just to plug, Norge Elementary School is on social media. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, and we're on Instagram. And I would also like to plug our Norge PTA. We have a very, very active PTA, and we ask that all new kindergarten families join the PTA. They support us in so many ways, and they're able to utilize funding and provide programming for our students and families that really separate us from some of the other schools. So we strongly encourage you to follow both WJCC schools and our schools on social media. We take great pride in sharing all of the positive things happening in our school, and we would love for you to be able to see those great things, because we know more often than not, when you ask kids what happened or how was your day or what did you do today, they say nothing, or they'll give you the same old same. Meanwhile, we are here doing great and wonderful things that we would love for you all to be a part of. So that is some of the most pertinent information for kindergarten pre-registration. At this time, I would like to address any questions that may be in the chat that I may not already had an opportunity to have an answer to. I do have some additional information in the chat. You'll find that there is a book called Off to a Good Start. It's a little booklet that we give all families when we get started with kindergarten. So there is a link in the chat that has that. The question says, are classrooms peanut free, or what precautions are taken for allergies? It is dependent upon the level to which there is an allergy within the classroom. If there's a need for a class to be peanut free, then we absolutely make that classroom peanut free, and we notify with notations outside of the classroom doors. As it relates to other allergies, we make sure that every classroom teacher and anyone who interacts with that student knows what those allergies are. We also clean cafeteria tables between every class. We restrict food in the classroom. So gone are the days of the birthday cupcakes and the bringing in snacks from home because of those allergies. So anything that a child eats within the classroom is something that they bring in themselves. I see a question about how we can get more information about before and after school programs. That is through the James City County Recreation Center. So you'll want to look on the James City County, or Google James City County Rec Center, and they'll be able to give you more information about the programming there. How do you make an appointment, or when will the appointments be made for the second part of registration? So as soon as you submit your pre-registration online, it alerts our registrar, and from there, the registrar will actually give you a call and invite you in for an appointment. She typically does most days, depending on how many other scheduled appointments she has. She's happy to accommodate any schedule. She's here from about 8:30 in the morning until 4:30 in the afternoon, and it takes typically 15 to 20 minutes mostly, and she's able to accommodate your schedule for that. What time is school, and what does the school day schedule of activities look like? So school begins at 9:15. Our school hours are 9:15 to 4:01. And so students get off of the bus at about 9:10. They have the access to go to breakfast in the cafeteria. And this is in a typical school year. This year, breakfast is in the classroom, but in a typical year, they'll be released from the bus. Kids that want to go to breakfast can go to breakfast, and kids who are not can go straight to class. Kindergarten typically begins with the heaviest portion of their instructional period in the morning, because that's when we have the better portion of their attention. And then they have an earlier lunch. So around 11:30, 11:15, 11:30, they have a 30-minute lunch in the cafeteria. their lunch is also the teacher's lunch, so they have the assistants to support them with lunch. Following lunch, they come back for an additional instructional period. They have a 30-minute recess outside. We go outside every single day unless the wind chill factor is below a certain point, or if it's pouring down raining, but we understand how important it is for them to get out and run. So we have outside, there's equipment, there's of course the whole play area, but there's basketball, there's soccer, there's tons of balls, frisbees, jump ropes, sidewalk chalk, anything that they can do just to keep them occupied. We do encourage that they play together. All of the teachers are there. Recess is heavily monitored by all of the classroom teachers. Following recess, they typically come in, have a snack, and then they get ready for centers. They have 45 minutes every day of some center or resource, art, music, library, PE, and they also go into the computer lab. Throughout the day, they may have visitors from, like, our school counselors will come in and do lessons, or other teachers will come in to support reading or math instruction. And then the final part of the day is a final instructional period, and then it's time to pack up and go home. Okay, summer meet and greet date available. No, I don't have a meet and greet date available just yet. We are working around when teachers return and when they are working through professional development to determine that date, but it will be available very, very soon. Hopefully by the close of the school year, we'll be able to provide that date for you. Will there be anyone to explain the bus pickup and drop off location to kids on the first day? So you will get information from transportation that will tell you exactly where your stop is. WJCC doesn't do door to door. There are, if you live, unless you live in an individual dwelling, but if you live in a neighborhood, then it's typically going to be like at a corner that is close and reasonable to where you live. So when you get your bus information, it will tell you bus stop 853 at the corner of this street and this street. And there you will, we ask that you're out there at least 10 minutes before and give at least 10 minutes after, especially those first couple days until we get all of the routing situated. Our school's still doing field trips because of COVID-19. We did not do any field trips this school year. And of course, we ended field trips prior to the closing of school last year. I cannot speak for what may happen in 21-22. I'm hopeful that a lot of the things that we've been able to do in the past will be able to reinstate soon. But of course, it's dependent upon what happens over the summer. So all of those things, again, are things we're hopeful to be able to get back to, but I can't speak on that at this time. And then I see that there was a question about lunches and snacks. That's been answered. They are allowed to bring their own lunch and their own snacks. Kids are very, very picky, and so we want them to eat because we don't want hangry kids at the end of the day. So, but we do ask that they bring a lunch that is healthy, but also something that they eat. And just as a random side note, we cannot do any like heating of food or anything for students. So we can't do microwaving food for kids or anything. So if they want something warm, just get one of those thermos things, or but we do help them to open things that they can't open. We do help them with anything that they're unable to do for themselves. We are happy to help them with. Next question, is virtual learning an option if needed later in the school year? Ms. Cookless has shared that there is Virtual Virginia. So the Virtual Academy as we have it now will not, for elementary, will not exist next academic year. So elementary school will be open for all students next year without the option from WJCC schools for elementary virtual instruction. However, WJCC is working with Virtual Virginia, and you'll have to sign up through Virtual Virginia if you're looking to have virtual instruction for your kindergartner next year. Those are all of the questions that I see currently in the chat. Oh, pick up and drop. Oh, I meant the pick up and drop off of kids in school. I'm sorry. So we have a car line in the morning and in the afternoon for drop off. Drop off is from 9 o'clock until 9:20, because after that students are considered to be late. And then in the afternoon we have a pickup line. We give kids a car tag number, so they'll have a tag that hangs on there, and I might have one here, maybe not. There's a tag that hangs on their backpack that has a number on it, and then there's one that you hang on your rear view mirror, and that lets us know what students to pick up. You drive around the side of the building and we walk them out to your vehicle for you in the afternoons, and then in the mornings we wait out, we open doors, and we walk kids inside. Classroom placements, I see a classroom specific question about twins. Often it is it's parent preference. So that's something that we can definitely work through together. Talk about the ins and outs of that. Often we separate twins just so that they can have their own fun and identities, but sometimes they do, and especially in these earlier years, require the opportunity to be together just to ease that comfort of transition to school. So absolutely something that we can discuss. Give it a couple more seconds for any additional questions. I am available to the greatest extent that I can be to answer any questions that you all may have. I failed to mention Mrs. Scott, who is our assistant principal. She's not with me this morning, but again, we are available. Our kindergarten students are one of our highest priorities, because we know that this transition to school can be like super exciting for some, but also for some it's just like a really daunting experience. My first time away from home. Why are you sending me here? So anything that we can do to ease the transition, to make this journey to school and journey through education fun and exciting, we are happy to support with. We do have a counselor who works with our kindergarten students to teach them coping skills, social emotional learning. All of those things are of high priority to us. And anything that you need, any questions that you have, please feel free to either send me an email or give me a call. Happy to talk with you in more depth about your specific child, specific needs. And looking forward to the summer event to meet the students. Kindergarten registration is one of my absolute favorite days. So to do this behind the computer, I do not love. It's one of my favorite times to be able to see the students, because they bring so much joy. And all of the teachers, we wear our Norge shirts and our Norge colors and welcome them in the hallways. It's a really big deal. So I'm looking forward to the opportunity to do that in this upcoming summer. But again, just let me know what your needs are. Hop on and pre-register. And if you have any friends or neighbors that will have kindergartners and you don't see them on today's meeting, please let them know that this is going to be posted and available on our website at the close of this meeting. And if there is nothing else, I see nothing new in the chat. Everyone have a great Friday. Happy Mother's Day to the mothers. And again, we remain available to support, and welcome to our kindergarten friends. Let us know what you need.